Good afternoon. I normally film this in the morning, and today has been a back-to-back busy day. So I'm very late getting to record my video on the market update. But the good news is that things are moving along really quickly. I wanted to share some things from my conversation with Gary Keller. I'm in the room with his mastermind group. Every quarter, he meets with the top agents of the company. And so this week was our mastermind week with Gary. Talked a lot about the economy and what's happening. And he said, I would actually have a better prediction of what's to happen in the economy if this meeting were 2 weeks later, because we would really know what happens with this debt ceiling stuff. I know that's been big part of the economy and a lot of the concerns and the fears that are out there, and that's really impacting interest rates. We saw another interest rate hike today. We're in the just under 7%. But in Austin, things really still are moving along. We just launched a couple new listings and had some showings on them today on a Friday, which typically over the last year, as things have slowed down, Friday is not really a day that really gets showings. People wait for the weekend, and in this case, both of our new listings have showings this week. So I'll take that. I'm getting good feedback and whatnot. So things are really starting to move along. But interest rates are still on the higher side. The one thing that everybody is starting to predict is that magic number for interest rates that's going to cause people to say, I'm ready to make a move when it comes to real estate, is that 5.5%. So a lot of lenders are saying 5.5% are rates that we're going to see this year. But a lot of that depends on the inflation number. And right now, inflation is still in the 4.9 and 5.5%, depending if you're looking at CPI or core. So it's not, it's moving in the right direction, which is great. Every month that we track it, it looks like inflation is moving in the right direction, but it's not moving very quickly because it's not a fast and taking inflation down to the 2% trend line is not really something that moves and happens very quickly. So that is going to still take some time. And until that happens, we're probably still going to see these higher interest rates because the Fed is really hoping that people just stop spending money. And the other thing that is tied to that is the job reports and unemployment. And unemployment has been hovering. It was 3.6% in March. Now it's showing 3.4%. So unemployment is still record low. In order for us to have what the government really wants as a healthy percent of unemployment is 6%. So we're still kind of well below that, which seems like a good thing. People are employed. There's 9.5 million jobs out there on the job market, and there are 5.5 or so million people employed. So there's a big gap between the number of people who have a job and the number of jobs available. And so we looked at dissected a lot of those stats and that data. And so at this point, it just seems like interest rates are probably going to stay on the higher side until we start to see a lot of movement with unemployment going up a little bit and that inflation number going down. So that said, in Austin, things are really moving along. We're having a fairly strong real estate showings and lots of inventory that's coming on the market. Gary's advice to us is go create inventory because we are still in an inventory shortage. Even though demand seems low right now, that is a kind of a demand that is because interest rates are so high, or not really so high, but they're higher than they have been. Once interest rates come down, his prediction, and I believe him because I see our inventory is just still so low that we're going to have a big demand. And so that's going to change. So he said, create inventory for the future because we're going to need it, real estate agents. So that's it. That was my week with Gary Keller and just what's going on in the overall economy and then dialing it into the Austin market too. So have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I will come at you next week with another report. So have a great weekend.